From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version. This 89th day of the year. Today we are reading passages 1 Samuel 13 to 14. 1 Samuel chapter 13, verses 1 to 23. Saul was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years over Israel. And Saul chose 3,000 men of Israel. 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash and the hill country of Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah of Benjamin. The rest of the people he sent away, every man to his tent. And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was at Gibeah, and the Philistines heard of it. And Saul blew the trumpet throughout all the land, saying, Let the Hebrews hear. And all Israel heard it said that Saul had smitten the garrison of the Philistines, and also that Israel had become a stench to the Philistines. And the people were called out to join Saul at Gilgal. And the Philistines mustered to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen and troops like the sand of the seashore in multitude. They came up and encamped at Michmash, to the east of Beth-aven. When the men of Israel saw that they were in straits, for the people were distressed, then the people hid themselves in caves and in holes and in rocks and in tombs and in cisterns, and some Hebrews crossed the fords of the Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. Saul was still at Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. He waited 7 days, the time appointed by Samuel, but Samuel did not come to Gilgal, and the people were scattering from him. So Saul said, Bring the burnt offering here to me, and the peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering. As soon as he had finished offering the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came, and Saul went out to meet him and to greet him. Samuel said, What have you done? And Saul said, When I saw that the people were scattering from me, and that you did not come within the days appointed, and that the Philistines were mustering at Michmash, I said, Now the Philistines will come down upon me at Gilgal, and I have not made supplication to the Lord. So I forced myself and offered the burnt offering. And Samuel said to Saul, You have done foolishly. You have not kept the commandment of the Lord your God, which he commanded you. For now the Lord would have established your kingdom over Israel forever. But now your kingdom shall not continue. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart, and the Lord has commanded him to be prince over his people, because you have not kept what the Lord commanded you. And Samuel arose and went up from Gilgal. The rest of the people went up after Saul to meet the army. They went up from Gilgal to Gibeah of Benjamin. And Saul numbered the people who were present with him, about 600 men. And Saul and Jonathan his son, and the people who were present with them, stayed in Gibeah of Benjamin, but the Philistines encamped at Michmash. And raiders came out of the camp of the Philistines in 3 companies. One company turned toward Ophrah, to the land of Shual. Another company turned toward Beth-horon, and another company turned toward the border that looks down on the valley of Zeboim toward the wilderness. Now there was no smith to be found throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, Lest the Hebrews make themselves swords or spears. But every one of the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen his plowshare, his mattock, his axe, or his sickle. And the charge was a pim for the plowshares, and for the mattocks, and for the 3-pronged forks, and for the axes, and for fixing goads. So on the day of the battle there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people with Saul and Jonathan. But Saul and Jonathan his son had them, and the garrison of the Philistines went out to the pass of Michmash. 1 Samuel chapter 14, verses 1 to 52. One day Jonathan the son of Saul said to the young man who bore his armor, Come, let us go over to the garrison of the Philistines on the other side. But he did not tell his father. Saul was staying in the outskirts of Gibeah under the pomegranate tree which was in Migron, and the people who were with him were about 600, among whom was Ahijah the son of Ahitub, Ichabod's brother, son of Phinehas, son of Eli, the priest of the Lord in Shiloh, wearing the ephod. And the people did not know that Jonathan had gone. Between the passes by which Jonathan sought to go over to the garrison of the Philistines, there was a sharp rock on one side and a sharp rock on the other side. The name of the one was Bozez, and the name of the other Sene. The one rock stood to the north in front of Michmash, and the other to the south in front of Gibeah. And Jonathan said to the young man who bore his armor, Come, let us go over to the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be that the Lord will work for us, for nothing can hinder the Lord from saving by many or by few. And his armor-bearer said to him, Do all that is in your heart. Turn, and behold, I am with you as you are. Then Jonathan said, Behold, we will cross over to the men, and we will show ourselves to them. If they say to us, Wait until we come to you, then we will stand still in our place, and we will not go up to them. But if they say, Come up to us, then we will go up, for the Lord has given them into our hand, and this shall be the sign to us. So both of them showed themselves to the garrison of the Philistines. And the Philistines said, Look, Hebrews are coming out of the holes where they have hidden themselves. And the men of the garrison hailed Jonathan and his armor-bearer and said, Come up to us, and we will show you a thing. And Jonathan said to his armor-bearer, Come up after me. for the Lord has given them into the hand of Israel. Jonathan climbed up on his hands and feet, and his armor-bearer after him, and they fell before Jonathan, and his armor-bearer killed them after him. And that first slaughter which Jonathan and his armor-bearer made was about 20 men, within as it were half an acre of land, a yoke of land. And there was a panic in the camp, in the field, and among all the people. The garrison and even the raiders trembled, the earth quaked, and it became a very great panic. The watchmen of Saul in Gibeah of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude was dispersing here and there. Then Saul said to the people who were with him, Count and see who has gone from us. And when they had counted, behold, Jonathan and his armor-bearer were not there. And Saul said to Ahijah, Bring the ark of God here. For the ark of God went at that time with the people of Israel. While Saul was talking to the priest, the tumult in the camp of the Philistines increased, and more people gathered together and were confounded. Then Saul said to the priest, Withdraw your hand. And Saul and all the people who were with him gathered themselves together and came to the battle. And behold, every man of Israel who had hidden himself in the hill country of Ephraim, when he heard that the Philistines were fleeing, joined the battle also in the pursuit of them. Similarly, all the men of Israel who had been in the secret places in the hill country of Ephraim, when they heard that the Philistines were fleeing, joined the battle in the pursuit of them. And the Lord saved Israel that day. And the battle passed on beyond Beth-aven. And the men of Israel were hard pressed that day. So Saul laid an oath on the people, saying, Cursed be the man who eats food until evening, and I am avenged on my enemies. So none of the people tasted food. And all the people of the land came to the woods, and there was honey on the ground. When the people had come into the woods, behold, the honey was dropping. But no one put his hand to his mouth, for the people feared the oath. But Jonathan had not heard his father charge the people with the oath. So he put out the tip of the staff that was in his hand, and dipped it in the honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth. And his eyes became bright. Then one of the people said, Your father laid a charge on the people with an oath, saying, Cursed be the man who eats food this day. And the people were faint. But Jonathan said, My father has troubled the land. See how my eyes have become bright, because I tasted a little of this honey. How much better if the people had eaten freely today of the spoil of their enemies which they found. For now the defeat among the Philistines has not been great. They smote the Philistines that day from Michmash to Aijalon, and the people were very faint. And the people fell upon the spoil, and took sheep and oxen and calves, and slew them on the ground, and the people ate them with the blood. Then they told Saul, Behold, the people are sinning against the Lord by eating with the blood. And he said, You have transgressed. Roll a great stone to me here. And Saul said, Disperse yourselves among the people, and say to them, Let every man bring his ox or his sheep, and slay them here and eat. And do not sin against the Lord by eating with the blood. So every man of the people brought his ox that night, and slew it there. And Saul built an altar to the Lord. It was the first altar that he built to the Lord. Then Saul said, Let us go down after the Philistines by night, and plunder them until the morning light. Let us not leave a man of them. And they said, Do whatever seems good to you. But the priest said, Let us draw near to God here. And Saul inquired of God, Shall I go down after the Philistines? Will you give them into the hand of Israel? But he did not answer him that day. And Saul said, Come here, all you leaders of the people, and let us find out how this sin has happened today. For as the Lord lives who saves Israel, though it be my son Jonathan, he shall surely die. But there was not a man among all the people who answered him. Then he said to all Israel, You shall be on one side, and I and Jonathan my son will be on the other side. And the people said to Saul, Do what seems good to you. Then Saul said to the Lord, the God of Israel, Give a perfect lot. And Jonathan and Saul were taken, but the people escaped. And Saul said, Cast the lot between me and Jonathan my son. And Jonathan was taken. Then Saul said to Jonathan, Tell me what you have done. And Jonathan told him, I tasted a little honey with the tip of the staff that was in my hand. Here I am, I must die. And Saul said, God do so and more also, for you shall surely die, Jonathan. But the people said to Saul, Shall Jonathan die, who has wrought this great salvation in Israel? Far from it. As the Lord lives, not one hair of his head shall fall to the ground, for he has wrought with God this day. So the people ransomed Jonathan, so that he did not die. Then Saul went up from pursuing the Philistines, and the Philistines went to their own place. Saul took the kingship over Israel, and fought against all his enemies on every side, against Moab, against the Ammonites, against Edom, against the kings of Zobah, and against the Philistines. And wherever he turned, he put them to the rout. And he did valiantly and defeated the Amalekites, and delivered Israel out of the hands of those who plundered them. Now the sons of Saul were Jonathan, Ishvi, and Malchishua. And the names of his 2 daughters were these. The name of the firstborn was Merab, and the name of the second was Michal. And the name of Saul's wife was Ahinoam, the daughter of Ahimaaz. And the name of the captain of his army was Abner, the son of Ner, Saul's uncle. Kish was the father of Saul, and Ner the father of Abner was the son of Abiel. The war against the Philistines was severe all the days of Saul. And when Saul saw any strong man or any valiant man, he attached him to himself.